Welcome to the Nonmember project. Today we're talking to Sofia. Sofia is here all the way from Italy. And how did you decide to come to BYU, Sofia?
So I wanted to keep studying after high school, so I wanted to still keep swimming and studying, something that I wanted to. And in Italy, it's not really possible because people, like professors, usually don't like when you're an athlete and you study. So my friend that I was already going to Northern Michigan University told me, yeah, why don't you try to apply for a US college? And I was like, okay. And then I found BYU. Actually, it's really funny. I found BYU on Wikipedia while I was looking on the list of swim and dive team for females and males. And then I found BYU, and it was actually a really long process. But long story short, I found BYU. I liked the place. I liked the program that I was interested in, public health, by the way. And I liked the team, and I saw that they needed someone that was doing my event. So I wrote an introduction letter email to the head coach, and here I am. You're
here from Italy. So did you come and actually visit campus before you came for school?
Yes.
Nice.
I came here end of January 2020, and I left like February 2nd, 2020, so right before COVID. I think COVID was already around, but I left and went back to Italy before they closed the borders. So
nice. And that was your visit, and then you decided to come. Were you still in high school when you decided to come, or were you after high school?
I was still in high school. I was on my senior year in high school, and then right after my recruiting trip, I decided that I wanted to come here because I liked the place. Yeah.
Did you like kind of the atmosphere in Utah, or like did you have time to sort of experience what the state was like, or were you more focused on your program with swimming?
Actually, it's a mixture of both. Because I was interested in my field and what I was interested in for the major, but I also was interested in the swim team because I love swimming. Even if sometimes you hear me saying I hate swimming, I hate what I'm doing, that's not true. It's just the moment. Everyone has those down moments.
The frustration.
Yes, and but I also love the mountains. In Italy, I lived in the middle of the Alps, so I have Dolomites, Alps, and I lived in the middle of the green. It's not that green, but there's a lot of mountain and a lot of nature, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful place. It gets really underrated.
I know.
How do you feel like you found a sense of belonging at BYU since you've gotten here?
So there is to say that when you're part of a team, an athletic team, everything is completely different. It's not like being just a student that it's a non-member and just living on campus and minding your business. Being on the athletic team, means that you have a life where you're in between other people that might be international, might be non-members, that are just like you, and you have one thing in common, that is the passion of doing your sport, playing your sport. So I don't feel like I relate to other people here.
That are outside of athletics?
Exactly. Yeah. That I had that are looking for their belonging here on campus. I already found it when I arrived on the team, so when I joined the team.
Yeah. So you feel like with your athletic team, it's kind of already built in, like you have a group of people that you hang out with, that you spend a lot of time with, and that you have shared passions with, so it's not as difficult to find a sense of belonging.
No, even because we spend of practice is 18, 20 hours together, plus outside when we go to eat together, when we are in the study hall, because we have the student athlete building just for us to study. And we just meet up there and we just talk there. We never do homework. No, we do homework, but no, I'm just kidding. We do homework, but we also chit chat and we have our social life inside there mostly.
It seems like it's easier to find community within athletics because you kind of have it built in already with your team. Have you felt a difference between your time in athletics and your time taking classes in general campus?
That is a hard question. It's definitely different because something that I noticed since I'm here is that there is an upper campus and a downstairs campus. The RV stairs are the border of the campus, and usually not a lot of people come down unless they want to actually work out. For other reasons, they don't do that. And we just go up just for classes. So it's kind of weird.
It's very separate. It's like geographically separate.
It is.
Between athletics and everyone else.
It really is. So when people tell me, yeah, come at the Wilkinson, we'll have fun, I'm like, what about it's upstairs? Like, I don't know about that. I know. So I don't spend that much time upstairs. So library, I just go for classes. So I don't really notice anything.
Yeah.
Outside of when I was living at the Heritage, but that is something else.
Yes. Did you only live there a year?
Yes.
Yeah. Heritage is the dorms.
It's the dorms, Heritage. And
Yes.
I'm happy that it was only a year and
now you're done.
yes. I mean, it's an experience that you have to do at the end.
That's true. Yeah.
It helps you to understand that a private room is really important.
I completely agree. What experiences did you have at Heritage that were difficult? Was it mainly like just new college experiences, or was it related to being part of a different religion than everyone else?
It was like living with other 5 people that I didn't know, that I had no idea how they were behaving at home, if they were clean people or not, and we just have a lot of disagreements, mostly in the common areas. But again, everyone has a different experience. So my experience was that I was never at home. I always came back home at night, and it was a little bit messy, and we just had an argument about that, but everything is fine.
Right.
They're usually nice people.
Yeah, and it's stressful to have random roommates.
It is stressful.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful because during my winter semester from last year, I met my actual roommate and one of my best friends, so I'm happy.
Good.
See, experience that you have to do.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Be in the dorms, suffer, and then get out. So have you had any experiences in religion classes that have been difficult for you as a non-member?
Yes. So last winter semester from last year, I didn't pass my class for non-members because it was so hard. The professor gave us so much, like, just so many things to do and so many things to read, and there was not enough time. It was not normal English. I have no idea how to call it. And it was just too much, and I just liked space, and I didn't do anything at the end because it made me anxious, and it was just too much going on.
Yeah.
It just made me hard. Like, I enjoy learning about other cultures, about other religions, because at the end, religions are important, but this professor put me so much pressure on that I was like, okay, maybe next year will go better.
Yeah. When you say like not normal English, do you mean like the King James Version of the Bible, or like
just
other
written
texts?
in other textbooks, but written in kind of more Old English with harder words, and kind of how it's built the Book of Mormon with the old words. Same thing.
Right. Yeah, like King James Version language.
Oh.
Yeah. He doesn't know. Yeah, but that is, I think that's what it is. And that makes sense. That'd be really difficult to come in and have to basically adapt to a whole different language, because Old English is...
Yeah, plus English is my third language, not even my second or first one, so it's even harder.
What's your second language?
German.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you work as an Italian TA?
Yes, I'm a writing lab tutor.
Cool. And have you had good experiences with people that have served missions in Italy and like know what your culture is like?
Yes, because once you live in Italy for for the guys it's 2 years on a mission, girls it's 18 months. Once you live in Italy, you understand actually how we live. Like, we're not that stressed. We are loud. We make our food is our culture. It's not just something that we have to do, or to eat in this case. But we made it out more as a culture, and we were more like passionate about things. So
yeah,
they understand how I used to live till 2 years ago when I moved here. Yeah.
And do you go home during the summers?
Yes, I need to. I need Italian air.
Yes.
I need my family. I need my Italian swim team, my Italian coach, Italian friends.
Yeah. It's really hard to live in another country, for sure.
with 8 hours of difference, yes.
Yeah.
Like calling, communicating, it's always super hard.
Right. So, what is something interesting that you've learned about the LDS Church since you've been here?
They're actually not that different from other Christians. Like, I'm a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
They're not too different from Catholics, and I thought, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even knew that the LDS Church existed before finding BYU. And that's the reason why I'm more interested to learn about it. And I also learned that, like, at the beginning, I thought it was a cult. I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But then learning during religion classes and having friends that are members of the church, I learned that it's not true at all. It's like a different version of the Catholics, but
Yeah.
they're nice people.
Yeah, so your opinion has changed since you moved here.
And positive.
Yeah, in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, like, what did your family say when you decided to come to BYU?
So, my mom wasn't really okay, but not with BYU, just moving just in general to the United States. She was a little bit skeptical about it. My dad likes to do jokes about it, so he was just like at the airport, was like, haha, don't become one of the wives. But apparently he doesn't even know this religion either, because if he will study a little bit more, he will know that it's not the LDS Church that has like polygamy.
Polygamy.
Okay, I was right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they were okay. Like, they grew me up independent, so they weren't really that worried about me.
Yeah, you've done a good job. Do you have siblings?
I have an older brother.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we swim together in Italy.
Nice. So he is still in Italy swimming.
I mean, now he has a full-time job, so he's not swimming that much, but he's part of a group called Masters. Basically, once you're older 24, you can join this group and just swim with the elders.
The elders?
Yeah, I just make fun of my brother. But he's 26, so.
Yeah, he's old now.
Yeah, please.
What is the biggest thing that you miss about Italy?
Food.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with it. When I came here, I had stomach issues. When I started eating American food, and it came out that I'm lactose intolerant here in the United States. Something that in Italy I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because I grew up like close to the mountain and I always had like fresh milk basically.
Mm-hmm.
But milk is a problem here for me, and food in general. Like, it was really hard to adapt the first month.
Yeah.
When I moved here, I really had a hard time, but then my body adapted. So.
Yep, it does. It takes a while though, and it's definitely not easy to come and have to deal with like all of the culture shocks in addition to being sick.
My culture shock kicked in after 2 months that I was here.
It doesn't kick in immediately.
No.
I mean, people assume that culture shock is like you show up and it's immediate. It's like 2 months.
It is not. I needed 2 months where one day I was not even able to talk to English anymore. I was mixing Italian and German with dialect too.
Yeah.
And at one point I wasn't even able to talk Italian anymore. I was just like creating new words, and
it was so stressful. Your brain is going into like overdrive trying to figure out what to do.
I was overwhelmed, and then starting like new practices with new coaches. So it's kind of new type of practices that you do.
Right.
Because every coach has a different style.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lot overwhelming, and then studying in English. And
did you study in English at all in Italy?
We did English, but not at this level.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's more as a basic level.
Right.
So I didn't know that many words here, specific words. So every single time I was like, how do you say the word? And I will just try to describe what I wanted to say. And they were like, oh, do you mean this one? I was like, yes. That one. But nobody ever judged me. Because, I mean, I speak 3 languages, so they were like, we understand. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. It's tough.
But it's okay. It's life. Life is fun.
Yeah. So obviously it's going to be difficult coming in as an international student and trying to adjust to, like you said, a new team, a new style of coaching, and doing your classes in a different language than you're used to. Were there any culture shocks you had specific to not being LDS here?
Everything closes on Sunday.
True.
In Italy where I live, maybe shops close earlier, but on Sunday they're always open. So when I landed here, I landed on Saturday night. So Sunday morning, I was like, okay, I need to do grocery shopping because I don't have anything. I had to go to Smith's that it's like 30 minutes walking, and it was summer and it was hot, and I had no internet because I still didn't have the American phone number, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna go for it.
Dang, I can't believe you walked all the way to Smith's.
I love walking, by the way.
Yeah.
I love hiking, walking. I say that I'm a lazy person, but at the end I'm not.
And it's different. Like, we don't walk anywhere here.
No
one walks anywhere.
I'm sorry, but Americans are not used to walk that much. They're like, oh, it's a 5-minute walk. Let me take the car. If it's a 15 minutes walk, I'm still gonna walk. I'm like, well, let me just walk.
Yeah, we would be healthier if we did that instead of driving everywhere.
Yeah.
But here we are. Have you changed any of your personal ideas about religion after interacting with the LDS Church?
I mean, I grew up as Catholic, but I was never that believer, and I'm still like in that mindset. So I'm kind of like halfway in, halfway out with religion. Sometimes I'm like, oh yes, I wonder what it will be like if I'll be a believer, like if I'll believe more. And sometimes like, actually I'm good where I am, so it didn't change that much. I'm just always there. So
in Italy, was your family more like traditionally Catholic? Like you were Catholic in name, maybe went to mass every once in a while, but not like a daily practice? Or how would you describe like growing up as a Catholic in Italy?
So in Italy it's different because mostly elders and kids go to the mass on Sundays. Once you do your first communion and then your confirmation when you're 13, I didn't do that, but because it's a choice, the confirmation. But once you do that one, usually nobody goes ever again to church unless it's for a wedding or for a funeral, or if it's a special event like Easter or Christmas.
Yeah.
Even New Year, sometimes they do something.
Oh, interesting.
It depends on the family because some families are more believers and they do more. Other families are not that much believers.
Yeah.
But also we didn't have that much time with me and my brother being athletes.
Right.
And we travel a lot, so every single weekend we were out.
Right. And you swam on Sundays, I assume?
Races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It was normal, pretty normal.
Yeah, so you aren't having breaks. What's it like having breaks on Sundays now every week?
Weird, because I feel lazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, it is hard to rest. I think it's good for us though. Do you feel like it's like been good for you, or does it still just stress you out?
My problem is that I'm a procrastinator. So if I know that I have a certain time because of swimming, then I know that I'm not going to procrastinate that much. But now that we're out of season, we have less hours. I'm procrastinating too much. So I'm kind of late with some assignments. Like, not late, but I'm just like, I still give them on time, but I just do them last minute. And it's stressful.
Yeah.
Really stressful.
So Sundays become your homework days?
Yes.
Yep. I feel that.
Saturday and Sundays. Depends on my mood.
Yeah. I feel like I've kind of adapted to Sundays, everything shutting down. But not necessarily that I actually, like, I try to rest more. I think it's a good reminder to have everything shut down, like a restful day and recuperating from the week. But at the same time, I feel like we get so much homework. We don't actually get to use it for rest. Like, I wish that I could, but as much as, like, everything closes, you still have so much work to do.
Oh, I know.
That you don't really get a break.
Yeah, and sometimes when I'm stressed with homework, I just go outside my apartment and leave for an hour just walking around. Like, I have no, like...
Procrastinating to take a break from...
Again, I'm a procrastinator, so it happens a lot of times. Doesn't matter if it rains, if it's sunny, if it snows, I'm just going outside.
Yep.
So...
Take a walk. Get away from it. You have interacted quite a bit with the Office of Belonging on campus. What has your experience been with the office?
I love it. Honestly, it's, again, it's like having Sundays free. It's giving you kind of a break. Like, as a non-member, gives you a break from what is the culture of the university. Because maybe you go around, you see missionaries that stops you and they're like, oh, hi, are you a member? Do you know people are non-members? And everything. I mean, I appreciate that they care about me, but sometimes it's a little bit too heavy because they ask me a lot of questions. Like, we talk about this. They ask a lot of questions, and sometimes it's just overwhelming. I just want to take a break, and so I just disappear in the office of belongings because it's really just giving me a break from everything, swimming, just from my usual life, everyday life. So
yeah, it's kind of a place of
and you make a lot of friends.
True. Yeah, that's been one of my favorite parts of Office of Belonging is we have a lot of students that come in from various different backgrounds of non-members and just non-majority people. Everyone is welcome at the Office of Belonging. It's not a office for minorities, and that's not what we want it to be, but we do find that a lot of students that come in are minority students just because you do need like a place of refuge sometimes from overall stressors of the university, and yeah.
I mean, member of the church are always welcome. Everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everywhere.
So yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's like one place where we can be and like not be harassed.
Yeah, so if I have to go upstairs, like upper campus, I'm going to the Office of Belongings. That is mostly the main reason why I go upstairs, not for classes, for the Office of Belongings.
Yep, that's true. You do come visit us. What's your experience with the missionaries?
I gotta say, not every missionary, just specifically the missionaries from Provo.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more in a rush and pushy because they want to baptize people. So sometimes they're a little bit too pushy and a little bit mean, but not on purpose. They're just trying to do their job of being a missionary. So one day when I just moved in my out-of-campus apartment, one night at 9, I don't know why they were there at 9 p.m., but that's okay. Someone rang the doorbell, and I was like, who rings the doorbell nowadays? I opened up, and there were 3 missionaries, and I was like, well, it's okay, like, come in and talk. We're just talking, everyone was really fine. They were trying to, like, convince me to read the Book of Mormon. I was like, listen, no. Then they asked me a little bit of my life, and I said, yeah, I'm here because I'm open-minded. I am open to new experiences. And then they asked me again, read the Book of Mormon for 1 week, and then we were chatting, and I was like, even if I tell you yes, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be honest with them.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you were really that open-minded, and then I got mad, and I was still respectful, but I stood up and I just opened the door to them, I was like, that's the exit.
Yeah. Well, that's so rude.
I know, but I also, for example, for one other roommate, she got baptized in November, and her missionaries were so nice and fun. Like, I really like them. It's just that I'm not into religion.
Yeah, and that's okay. And that should be respected.
Sometimes and they were really respectful about that. Like, while we were having a little meeting, I was saying, well, as a member, I will say, and the missionary came up and was like, so you're a member? I was like, no. Hi, nice to meet you. I was like, no. I was like, I tried. It was really fun. And they asked me, like, kindly if they could give me a Book of Mormon in town. And I was like, if it makes you happy, just bring it over.
Right.
Like, they were nice. I'm going to be nice.
Yeah, for sure.
But for the rest, I know, like, I have a lot of friends that just came back from their missions. And they're super nice. And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry for your experiences. But it's just literally the pro-missionaries. Just because it's all, like, members concentrated in one city, that it's hard to find the non-members. Mostly on campus, so...
Yeah. Yeah, they've been out a lot lately because it's warmer. And so sometimes it's literally impossible to get across campus to certain buildings without getting caught by one of the missionaries.
I'm able to. I mean, usually if you just like walk straight without making eye contact, they don't approach you. So
when they do, what do you say? Like they usually say, "Do you know any non-members?"
I mean, I say that I'm a non-member because
it
doesn't
me too.
Even like it doesn't have any. I don't have any reason to lie. I'm like, I'm a non-member, but also I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not interested. I'm good where I'm right now. I'm happy with myself. And they're like, oh, can we have your phone number? Like, listen, I'm okay. I prefer not to. And I just wish them a good day and I just walk away.
Yeah, that's good that they're respectful. Generally speaking, I guess like once you really are clear about what you're thinking, they tend to be pretty respectful. It's harder for students that don't want to share that they're a non-member or don't want to say no to someone.
I know, it's really hard.
Yeah.
At the beginning I was like that. I was like, I don't know if I want to say no.
Yeah.
And then it happened when the one day I said yes, and it was just a mess. It was my first experience with missionaries and it was horrible. But I know that not everyone is like that, so.
Yeah, and they don't have bad intentions. It's just.
They're trying to do their work.
Yeah.
Their job.
Yeah, it's just stressful to have to deal with people asking you all the time questions that you don't want to answer.
Yeah, that's true too.
But we only get them because we're non-LDS, which is kind of Frustrating. Has anyone that's not a missionary tried to convert you?
No.
Good.
Everyone always respected my
Mm-hmm.
point of view and my position in not wanting to. And
Mhm.
I mean, there may be joking. So when are you getting baptized?
Yeah,
I'm like,
all the time.
Never.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
because it's just I'm fine where I'm right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't mind people joking about me getting baptized.
Yeah, I know.
There
are some ex-missionary, return missionaries.
Return.
They're really funny about it. Like they joke the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like most of a good part of the swing team of the guys team, the men's team,
Mhm.
they're return missionaries, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
They're like, so Sophia, when are we baptizing you?
Yeah, I've had so many times where I've said something about paying double tuition, and someone will be like, "Do you want to get dunked? We can fix that."
I got that one too, but
yeah,
it's
no
so funny.
thanks.
It's just funny.
Keeping my morals intact. Yeah,
That is really funny.
but yeah, there's like a time and a place to joke about it, but I think
And with some hurt people.
exactly, because you don't want it's not fun when people come up to you and make jokes about it if you've had a hard day and you don't really know them.
Exactly. But if you have friends and they can read you and they know that it's not a good day, they just leave you.
Yeah,
they're actually, hey, are you okay? Can I do something for you? Can I help you with something?
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
The community is super tight-knit here, and that's kind of nice. Have you had any really good experiences with just how community is organized and like people supporting you through things?
Again, I'm on a swim team, on a athletic team, so it's natural for us supporting each other. Because we do it because swimming is our job at the end. It's a job that we love, and that is amazing. So it's even easier supporting each other because we know what each of us is going through. Like, talking about races and practices. So we know how hard it is, and it's super easy to support each other. Like if we have something going on, like last week that I was at home with the worst migraine in my life, I had people reaching out and they were like, hey, do you need help? Are you okay? Do you want me to do something for you? I was like, guys, thank you. I'm just going to die here.
Yeah, that's very bad. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, but we support each other really much. It's nice.
It's a village for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel that same way with other athletics teams, or do you think that there's something special about BYU's sense of community that isn't other places?
So you mean just not on the swing team, but just other teams at BYU, or just outside BYU?
Oh, outside of BYU.
I mean, when you're on an athletic team, you always find it. You always find the support because those are people that are like either are students, that they are athletes, that they have a family, they have issues, even at home, and they just come at practice that they just want to let it go and just don't think about it. So we just support each other and we just go out together and have fun, and whatever we can do for each other, we just try to do it our best. Yeah,
it definitely gives it, like, sometimes I'm honestly jealous of athletics because as a non-LDS student, like most of our non-LDS students are either international students or athletics, and so that brings with it like a really strong community. Like most of our international students, and you're both, but most of our international students are really close friends with the people from their country, or at least from their region. And then athletics, you have a built-in like community team, even outside of your team, like other athletes. Like that, the athletics program is pretty tight-knit because there's really, how many athletes are there? Like 200-300, something like that?
I have no idea. Like if you think just 100 is from football team, I believe it's a little bit more. But when you're like, sometimes when we're a student athlete building, we just start talking with other people. So I have friends on the gymnastic.
Yeah, gymnastics.
Gymnastic, it's volleyball, basketball, that is one man. Football, a few people. So it's just really a big community inside our already big community, because BYU is a community itself. And then we have athletics that it's another little community that support each other.
A little niche. Yeah, but I think it works really well to have some sort of a community you can get plugged into here at BYU in order to have a strong sense of belonging. And yeah, it's really cool that in athletics that's something that's really been built up, and it's something where you feel supported even as a non-LDS student, because you know the core of your experience here has been more about swimming than it has been about the LDS church.
Yes, I have to say that. I mean, the first time that I went to church was because I had to write down an essay for my class.
Yeah.
So it's not really.
Not
I'm more
a
about
huge
this.
part of your
Yeah.
experience. Yeah. It's very, very different from a lot of other students, but it's really cool. Okay, so overall your experience at BYU has been overwhelmingly positive. Is that right?
Yes, it's just a missionary thing that they're a little bit pushy, but for the rest, BYU and BYU athletics helped me so much. Like even while I was homesick, I just wanted to go home, but like they helped me out, and they were literally a family here, so
yeah, for sure.
It was a little positive, but it was definitely positive.
Outside of your team, is there anything in athletics that's helped you feel particularly like a sense of belonging? Or?
I mean, there are a lot of people that I met during my journey that are not part of the athletics that still help me out. Like those are maybe professors or that are sometimes reach out and they're like, "Hey Sophia, how's it going? Do you need help with something?" Because maybe those are professors that cover multiple fields, multiple subjects. So, yeah, it was definitely positive my experience here.
Overall, do you feel like you have found a sense of belonging at BYU?
Yes, I definitely did. When I first moved here, I thought it was the right decision, to be honest, because everything was new and I just needed time to adapt, and I wasn't giving myself time to do that. Yeah. But then I really felt part of BYU. I really felt part of BYU, so I'm happy about it.
And you're coming back next year?
Oh, for sure.
2 more years until you graduate?
2 years.
That's so exciting. And okay, you talked about really liking going to athletics events.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Like how other teams support other teams. It's so funny that you can say mostly like volleyball or football or basketball. It's just so funny that we just cheer for each other and because have friends on other teams, so it's just so funny to cheer for each other. Yeah. And just see what they actually do. Yeah. Because sometimes you're not aware of what they actually do. You might see them just for practice during practices. You're like, oh yeah, what do you think? Like, that's not too hard. And then they're at the competition. They do just at the game competition. You're like, what?
You see someone in the student athlete building, you probably talk to them a little bit, and then when you actually see them play, it's like, oh wow,
it's a totally different person, basically.
Yeah.
Because when a person is actually playing or competing, you see their real side, kind of. And then you're always like shocked. You're like, wow, I had no idea that this person could do this. Or it's just always surprising every single time. Yeah, in like the best way. It's so cool. So Sophia, if you could tell something to someone coming in as a non-LDS student, what would you say your best advice would be for like a non-LDS student coming into BYU? Like that already committed to BYU, or is just visiting BYU? Do visiting and then do someone who's already committed. I mean, visiting is don't get scared because at first, like when you first see things, they might look different, they might look hard and everything, but once you look closely, you're like, oh, that's fine. I can work out. Like I can make it work. Yeah. So, did you have a hard time with the honor code in the beginning? Like no. Not at all. No. It's the easiest thing ever. Honor code, it's literally the easiest thing ever. It's not that heavy how it looks like. Like when you read the honor code, it looks like that you are prohibited to do whatever. But it's not. Not at all. It's just like basic things that you have to do. And they are super easy. So. Yeah, just little lifestyle changes. Yeah. Not even big one. Like literally little ones. Yeah. And it depends on the person too. Yes, I mean, I didn't have any trouble to change. Like, it was fine. Yeah, I didn't either. I was already living that way, essentially. So what would your advice be for someone who's already committed to BYU and is coming here as a non-LDS student? Don't give up. Because a lot of times people want to give up because they see that maybe it's too hard or they're like literally blocked. But you just have to give some time and maybe ask help too. Because a lot of people just want to help you. True. Like, even if, for example, if you have problems with religion homework, and you're like, yeah, I want to transfer because I can't do religion, literally just go around, find one person, as if they're members at this point, and ask them if they can give you help with homework, with religion, and they will say yes. Because everyone is passionate about religion here, so true. Everyone will help you out. Yeah. Yeah. So just don't give up. Keep going. Yeah, I agree.
If you need to transfer. But I think
At least try it first.
yeah,
To
Right.
to look for help, to ask help, and
Yeah.
just give it another try.
mhm,
One or two. Usually the third one is the good one. So
mhm. That's true. It's a struggle at the beginning, like
yeah,
culture shock.
and halfway through, because
Yeah.
you feel like it's so long, but
Mhm.
after you get to halfway, everything will go so fast. So
So true. You're almost at halfway. Like right now.
that is true. Well, I just went over my hardest period in my life, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Now I'm good.
Now you have 2 more years of having fun.
Yes.
Swimming at home in the summer.
Swimming at
coming
home
back
during
to
summer,
BYU.
swimming here during the rest of the
Yeah. Would you say that it's like helpful as a non-LDS student to leave and go home for the summer?
I think it's just for a normal person that it's helpful to go back home.
Yeah.
Or even like maybe if you don't go along with your parents or family, it's just good to go back home and breathe the air that you used to before coming to BYU here. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just good going back home.
I think that's good advice because a lot of burnout happens when you're just like in this constant state of stress sometimes.
And maybe sometimes you don't want to go home because you're like, I'm too stressed, I have too many things to do. Just go home.
Take a break.
Go home.
Yep.
It will make you happy again.
Yep. Or just get out.
Yeah, just take a break. Exactly.
Somewhere. Do something.
Professors are really understanding here.
Yeah.
So if you text them like, hey, I'm having a burnout, I can't come to class this next 2 days, just take a break and they'll be fine because they understand. They were students too, so.
True. Yeah. I found that
Mhm.
most of the professors here are extremely understanding and
Mhm.
overall really great.
And they help you
experience.
too.
Yeah.
If you have troubles with homework or
Mhm.
anything else, you can even text like the professor via email or the TA, and they will definitely help you, 100%. There's no one that will tell you no, do it by yourself.
True.
So you just gotta be able to look for help.
Yeah. Ask for help, and it will usually be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any last thoughts about being a non-LDS student at BYU?
I'm just enjoying my life, honestly. I'm just trying to think with my head, not make anyone else decide for me, but that's just in general for every student. I don't see the
True.
difference honestly right now.
Yeah.
So just living my life.